it's Quadix here. I want to say this great fanfic is written by Toby Wants a Cookie. This is basically what if Minato had taken Obito in when he found out about his list and great life with the Uchihas. What if because of that Rin survived? What if the two of them raised Naruto, who would lead the Akatsuki? So Obito has an abusive father basically. Minato basically adopts him. Rin survives because of this, and Rin and Naruto train Naruto. Kakashi is not depressed boy. Minato is happy. Kushina's happy. Naruto. It's a great fanfic, and it is 155 chapters long. It is like I think the longest fanfic that I have seen. So if you enjoy this, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and comment Q. Let's get into the video. Roll the intro. Obito got to his front door and took a deep breath in. He always hated going home at the end of the day. He wasn't well liked around here, and the whole Uchiha compound wasn't really a safe place for him. It didn't seem to matter to them that he trained as hard as he could. All that mattered was that he ended up dead last. The people at the compound often stop him just to give him a talking to and beat the ever-living crap out of him. His father wasn't exactly nice to him either. In the Uchiha clan, the cruel reality was either you were a great ninja or weren't a ninja at all. He opened the door and walked in. "Mom, Dad, I'm home. The mission went well today." His father, Otsuka, rolled his eyes. "Oh, excellent. You got through another D rank complete. How long has your team been doing these now?" Obito really hated when his father did this. "A week, Dad." Otsuka shook his head. "It's a time of war. Most of the other teams have started regular C ranks by now." Obito got a glass from the cupboard. "Minato-sensei doesn't want us doing missions until he feels our team works, okay? And Kakashi Baka won't work with us. Please, he just knows you're too weak. Kakashi is a fine ninja, and Rin was top Kunoichi of the year. You're the one holding them back." Obito scoffed in response. Obito drank some of his water. "Dad, can't you try to encourage me just once or something? I'm really trying out here." Otsuka glared at his son. "And what do you have to show for it? You haven't even developed your Sharingan." Obito was getting very tired of the conversation. "You need to be in a life or death situation to activate it." Otsuka growled at him. "Then maybe that's what you need to do." Obito muttered under his breath. "I would have thought the night you nearly beat me to death for being dead last would have counted." Otsuka grabbed his son's wrist. "You did that to yourself. You're an Uchiha. You don't get to be dead last." Obito tried to get away. "Dad, let me go. I'm trying." Otsuka grabbed harder. Trying isn't good enough. He smacked his son across the face, causing Obito to fall to the ground. His mother, Tuhai, walked in. "Otsuka, is this really necessary?" Otsuka looked at his wife. "Of course. How else would the boy learn?" Tuhai sighed. "Alright, darling, if you must. Just be sure no one outside the compound knows of it." Otsuka turned where his son had been and only to realize that Obito had wandered off elsewhere. "The only thing he's ever been good at is running," the man scoffed disapprovingly. Obito looked around until he found the right address. "Sensei said he could find him here if I ever needed him. I really hope he doesn't mind." He knocked on the door and Minato walked out. "Obito, what's up? Do you need something?" Obito did his best to hide the bruise on his face. My parents are out of town. Could I maybe stay here tonight?" Minato put his finger under the boy's chin and made him look up. "Where'd you get the bruise?" Obito laughed nervously. "Oh, I just smacked my face on a tree on the way here." Minato looked at him. "Why didn't you arrange to stay with one of your relatives?" Obito was nervous. He was getting found out. "You know me. I don't think before I do things." Minato motioned for the boy to come in. "Come in. I think we've got some things to clear up." Obito did as he was told and went inside. A red-haired woman greeted him. "Hello there. You must be Obito, the Uchiha boy Minato-kun's been telling me about. I'm his wife, Kushina. Nice to meet you." Obito smiled. The woman seemed very nice. Yeah, does Sensei really talk about me? Kushina nodded. Of course. He says that you're a very hard worker, and that if you keep it up, you'll be a great shinobi one day. Minato asked him to sit down on the couch. Obito, I need you to tell me how you really got that bruise. Obito stammered. What do you mean? Minato looked at him hard. Obito, come on. Obito looked at the gun. It's my dad. He's still mad at me not being rookie of the year. Minato sighed and leaned back. I was afraid of this. Obito, why didn't you say anything? Obito scratched the back of his head. I'm okay, really. I just need to get better, and it'll go away on its own. Kushina wasn't having it. Obito, you can't be serious. Obito got up. This was a mistake. I shouldn't have came here. Minato stopped him. Sit back down. Now, how often does this happen? Obito shifted nervously. I don't know, 2 or 3 times a week? Minato nodded. And how bad are they? Obito rubbed his arm nervously. They're usually pretty bad. Although he usually doesn't hit me in the face. He's too careful. That's why he buys me long sleeve clothes. Minato got up and rolled his sleeve up. There were indeed bruises all up his arm. Kushina gasped. Oh my god, you can't keep staying there. Obito pulled it back down. I'll pass, trust me. I'll get stronger and he'll stop. Minato disagreed. Obito, that's not the point. We need to get out of there. We need to get you out of there. Obito started to cry. Look, it's my fault anyways. Kushina came up and gave the boy a hug. No, it's not. And you're a lovely boy and a hard worker. Don't you dare say it's your fault. Minato stood up. I'm gonna talk to the Hokage. See about getting you out of there? Obito jumped up. But the Uchihas... Minato was already leaving. Don't worry. They'll have to get through me to get to you. Kushina came to Obito. Come, sweetie. Let's get you something to eat and make up the guest room for you. Minato walked into the Hokage's office. Sir, we got a problem. Sarutobi looked up. And what would that be? Minato told him about the events at his house and the old man rubbed his temple. This is a delicate situation. The Uchihas don't like to be told how they can and can't raise their own children, and it's nearly impossible to fight the entire clan. We can't go after them for a child endangerment, that's for sure. Minato thought for a second. Well, what if someone else were to take him in? Sarutobi looked through an old book he was holding. Has he activated his Sharingan yet? Minato shook his head. No. Sarutobi put the book down. Then it should be fine. If what you've told me is true, then they shouldn't care if someone takes him in. They'll just see it as getting rid of a weak clan member. May I ask who's taking him in? Minato grinned. Actually, me and Kushina. I like the kid, and he needs a place to stay. We have more room than we need, and I know Kushina will be okay with it. Sarutobi laughed at his plan and gave him some papers. One of his parents signed this, and fill out the rest. I'll take care of it. Minato took the paper and went to meet Otsuka. Otsuka heard a knock on the door and opened it to find Minato. What do you want? Minato told him everything he had found out and showed him the papers. I want to take your son to become his legal guardian. Otsuka looked at the papers and laughed. Why do you want the little failure? Minato glared at him. He's not a failure. He's a good kid who needs some help, that's all. Otsuka pulled out a pen. Fine, he's a disgrace anyway. Any objections? Too high? Too high looked nervous, but in the end said, I suppose not. It's probably best if he just leaves the clan anyways. Otsuka signed it. His things are in his room. If you want them, grab them. Minato grabbed what few things he felt were worth grabbing and headed back. He was very happy to be out of the house. Obito's parents most certainly weren't the nurturing type. Minato got back to the house to find Kushina and Obito laughing on the couch. Oh man, he really did that? Kushina just kept laughing. Oh yeah, he might be a great ninja, but he likes ramen way too much. Minato walked in. Glad to see you guys are having a good time. I've got something to talk to you about. Obito looked at him. What's that? Did I do something wrong? Minato told him about everything that happened. I'm sorry, Obito, but I really do want you to stay. Obito looked scared. Why would you tell this to me why would you do all of this for me? Minato smirked. You're a good kid, and I like you. Why not? I think it'd be nice to have you around, don't you, Kushina? Kushina jumped up. Of course I do. Our house is your house. Obito ran up with tears in his eyes and hugged them. Thank you. Thank you so much. Minato hugged them back and smiled. He had a feeling that things were about to take a turn for the better. Chapter 2. Obito woke up confused at where he was before soon remembering he lived with his sensei now. He still wasn't sure how to feel about that, but he figured it couldn't possibly be worse than dealing with his father. The smell of food in the kitchen hit his nose, so he decided to walk out. Kushina was cooking some bacon and eggs on the stove and happily chatting to Minato. It looked strange to Obito. Usually his parents were extremely aggravated in the morning. If he tried to talk to either of them, they would just snap at him. Kushina saw Obito and smiled at him. Morning, Obito-kun. You don't mind if I call you that, do you? Obito nodded. That it was okay. Good. I've got breakfast here, so I hope you're hungry. Come on, get a plate and sit down. Obito did as Kushina told him and got a plate. He got some food and sat down at the table. Looks like we don't have this often at the compound. Minato raised an eyebrow. Really? What do you eat? Obito shrugged. Whatever they give us, it's usually some oatmeal or something healthy like that. For whatever reason, they're super strict about what we eat. Kushina made herself a plate and sat down. I never believed that health kick stuff. I mean, we're ninjas after all. We work so hard, we need extra fat and crabs. And carbs. Obito liked the sound of that. So, what time do we head out for missions? Minato thought for a second. About half an hour. Why? Are you actually gonna be on time this time? Obito laughed nervously. Sorry, I lose track of time really easily. I don't know what it is. Kushina shrugged. I was a bit of a troublemaker myself back at the academy. If I ever showed up late, they knew I had done something that was gonna be hilarious and expensive to fix. Minato chuckled at the memories. Oh yeah, like when you gave the teacher dango laced with sleeping pills and then dyed his hair pink after he passed out? That was priceless. Kushina winked. That's why I'm a good ninja. I'm sneaky. Obito loved how laid back these two were. It was awesome. Obito went to grab a quick shower. I'll be sure to be out before we have to leave, sensei. Minato nodded. Alright, be sure you're not late. You can't make excuses because I know exactly what you'd be late for now. Obito scratched the back of his head. Good point. Obito got to the training ground a minute early, much to Rin and Kakashi's surprise. Obito, is that really you? I mean, you're on time and everything. Obito scowled. Yeah, I know, haha. So funny. Well, from now on, I'm gonna be on time for everything. Kakashi was clearly quite skeptical. And why is that? Obito wasn't sure how to answer that. Well, it's kind of a long story. Don't worry about it. Rin looked at him and saw his cheeks. Obito, is there a bruise on your cheek? Obito was getting nervous. Yeah, I just got smacked in the face by a tree, that's all. Minato spoke up. Can you give me a second with Obito, please? They both walked away and Minato turned to Obito. Why don't you tell them that? Obito looked down. Tell them that my parents thought I was so worthless that they didn't care what happened to me? Yeah, I don't think so. Minato put his hand on Obito's shoulder. Obito, they're your friends. I'm sure they'll support you. You're not worthless. Your parents are just bad parents. Obito was scared, but nodded. Guys, you can come back now. They walked over and Rin was extremely curious. Obito, what's going on? Obito took a deep breath and told them everything that had happened the day before. Rin looked appealed and Kakashi didn't look exactly Rin looked upheld, and Kakashi didn't look exactly pleased either. Obito, did I really beat you? Obito didn't respond, he just nodded. Rin ran up and hugged him. Oh my god, Obito, why didn't you tell us? Kakashi answered that. Rin, he hadn't told anyone. He was obviously scared to tell anyone. He's from the Uchiha clan. They're a very private clan. He turned to Obito. I'm sorry. I know we don't always get along, but even I feel bad about this. When my dad was still around, at least he was always there for me when I needed him. You didn't even have that. Obito looked surprised at what Kakashi said. Thanks, man. That means a lot. Minato smiled. Now you see? Teamwork. That's what I've been talking about. Everyone trying to understand each other so that we can all work together. I think you guys are finally ready for a C rank. Kakashi liked the sound of that. Alright, awesome. Can we go now? Minato laughed at his excitement. I'll set it up so that we can leave tomorrow. I'd like all of you guys to come over and have dinner with us and stay the night so we can be sure we are all ready tomorrow. Any objections? They all shook their head. Good. Get whatever you need and then come to my place. We'll go over protocol, have dinner, and then get a good night's sleep for tomorrow. Kakashi hurried home to get ready and Rin waved goodbye. See you soon, Sensei. You too, Obito-kun. She left and Obito turned to Sensei. Did you hear that? She called me Obito-kun. Aw man, this is so awesome. Minato smiled and told the boy to head home and tell Kushina to prepare for company while he set everything up with the Hokage. Obito ran home sitting, grinning from ear to ear and blushing. Obito got back home and found Kushina sharpening some kunai. Is that the ice cream truck? Oh shoot. Man, it's been a while since that came. Kushina Sensei invited the team to have dinner here and stay the night before we have our first C rank. I hope that's okay. Kushina nodded. Of course. I've been asking to meet his team for ages. I'm just glad I finally got to see the other two. Obito was glad she was okay with all this. That's good. Rin-chan called me Obito-kun today. Kushina noticed a little blush when he mentioned her. Oh? Do you like this girl? Obito jumped a little at the question. Well, yeah, she's my teammate. Kushina laughed. You know that's not what I meant. Do you have a crush on her? Obito nodded slightly. She's beautiful and smart and nice, and Kushina could see he was clearly head over heels for the girl. Wow, you really like her. So, why don't you ask her out? Obito looked at her like she was crazy. I can't do that. What if she says no? Even worse, what if she laughs at me? Kushina gave him a soft smile. Well, to be honest, you don't know if she will. However, if she's smart and kind as you say, she'll definitely say yes if you ask. Roll the dice and have some faith. Obito still looked nervous. Okay, but what'd I say? Kushina laughed. Come on, I'll help you. Minato got back from the Hokage's office with a scroll in hand. He found that his 3 students were all there waiting for him. You guys are eager, aren't you? They all nodded. Well, good. We've got a few things to go over though. Kakashi, I realize this will be somewhat review for you as you've been on C rank before. Kushina was a little surprised at that. Really? I thought he was a genin. Kakashi shook his head. No way. I've been a chunin for the past 2 years. The Hokage felt it was best if I wasn't a team for a while. All my commanding officers felt that there was one area I was lacking. If I can improve that, then they'll finally promote me to Jonin. Kushina was impressed. Whoa, that's pretty good. I made Chunin at 16 myself. Rin was a little confused by that. Wait, I didn't know you were a ninja. Kushina shrugged. Well, yeah, I just don't go on missions as often because of, well, let's just say I have something very important to the Leaf. They don't want to risk it. Obito wanted to ask more, but Minato cut in. Anyway, there aren't too many protocols for a C rank. It's all pretty simple. Rin was listening attentively. Okay, so what are they? Minato started to name them off. Number 1. Everything that happens on the mission is classified until otherwise told so. Kakashi rolled his eyes. Well, yeah, that's a given for any mission. Minato figured that would be their response. Number 2. If you're captured, say nothing and wait for someone to come find you. Obito spoke up. We would go get them, right? Minato smiled. Well, we're not technically supposed to, but I always say, those who break the rules are trash, but those who abandon their teammates are worse than trash. Kakashi remembered his father dying over such a rule. He still wasn't sure if he agreed with that, but for now, he accepted it. Minato counted off the final rule. And last but not least, the mission is to be done before anything else. We can have fun outside the village later. Obito getting pumped. What are we going to? Minato told him. We have a mission to deliver a message to some cloud ninjas at a neutral location. Rin went wide eyes. Are we finally close to peace with them? Minato smiled. We're getting there, but we still got ways to go. Kushina scowled. So, we're finally getting those war mongrels to listen, huh? Good. Those guys are such power-hungry fools. Obito was sensing some hostility. Did something happen with you and the Cloud Ninja? Kushina frowned and nodded. Crazy little pricks tried to kidnap me when I was about 18. Rin was shocked. Really? Why? Wait, hold up. She was 18? Minato saved her. I don't think this is accurate. She was not 8. She was a child, bro. I thought she was like Genin or like academy student when she got kidnapped. There's no way she was 18. Kushina sighed. Not a ton of people know this, but I'm the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi. When I was 10, I was brought here from the whirlpool when it was destroyed by the hidden rock. They seek to get all of the tailed beast. Even Kakashi was interested. Who saved you? Kushina walked over to her husband. Well, this big hunk right here. He saved me from a whole group of Cloud Ninja. He found me when no one else could. Rin loved a good romantic story. How did he find you? Kushina gave her husband a kiss on the cheek. I left strands of my hair so that someone could find me. Only Minato couldn't figure it out. He said that only one person had hair as beautiful as that. Rin had stars in her eyes. Oh, that's so sweet. Kushina thought it was cheesy, but chose not to say anything for his own health. Oh, Kakashi thought it was cheesy. Minato smiled at his wife. Hard to believe it took me saving your life just to get you to stop thinking I was some spineless bookworm. Kushina giggled. Well, you were always reading those ceiling books. What was I supposed to think? Minato pouted. I was doing it to create the yellow flash that Tobirama created. I needed to read those books. Kushina just kept giggling. Come on guys, dinner's ready. She had made some dumplings and a special fish sauce from back when she lived in the whirlpool. It was fantastic, much to Rin's surprise. I usually hate anything fish related, but this is great. Kushina was glad she liked it. Oh, thank you. It's an old favorite of mine. Rin ate some more dumplings. So, what's having Obito-kun here like? Kushina smiled. She was hoping Rin would ask that. Oh, it's great. He's such a little joy to have around. He's so nice and helpful. You must love to have someone like him on your team. Rin smiled at Obito and he blushed. Oh yeah, he's great. I had no idea how bad it was at home though. And he still was always more worried about us than himself. He's really something special. Kushina smirked. Hook, line, and sinker. Oh my, sounds like you have a little crush on him. Obito still wasn't sure about Kushina's plan, but he said what he told her to say. Yeah, Rin, you trying to take me out on a date or something? Rin laughed. Well, he is a nice guy. Who knows? Obito knew it was now or never. How about after we got back from the cloud mission, I take you out to dinner? Rin smiled and nodded. Okay, sounds good. Obito had to stop himself from jumping up and down in joy. Kushina knew her work was done. They ate the rest of the meal with playful jokes and good stories. It was a good night for all involved. And that's where I'm ended, guys. If you want to see the next part tomorrow, and if you want me to upload this daily, get this to 500 likes. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see y'all in the next part. Roll the outro.
Wanted a bitch who was on the move, but you on a goddamn late. Got that one in my bed and she just wanna sleep. Fucking up all of the sheets. She only wake up to eat. Do this shit every week. Like why you do that? Crying you wanna be great, but sleeping until the next day. Why you do that? Got that much in the bank. We go out, she